SHRM's own research, and I've relied on this a lot, shows that right now, over 40% of people who are part of the Great Resignation have quit their jobs, they say, because their values are being stigmatized at work, right? They're not saying because I'm not agreed with, but instead they're saying because my convictions, my ideals are being basically weaponized against me. And this is the HR case for including diversity of viewpoint in how we define diversity itself. And it goes back to something that I think I can't emphasize enough, that, we tend to focus in DEI work on diversity between groups, when we ought to also be acknowledging diversity within groups. Just because you're a man, just because I'm a woman, if that's how you and I identify, just because you're of one nationality and me another, doesn't mean that you are the same as everybody else who is in the groups represented by those labels. Now, some people will feel the pressure to pledge allegiance to that group because there isn't psychological safety inside that group to differ from the consensus, right? We've all heard words like inauthentic. Irshad, you're such an inauthentic Muslim, or you're not a Muslim at all. That's the kind of judging that happens within groups, and it's very painful to hear. Which is why, in order to bring out diversity of thought, you've also got to ensure that in affinity groups or employee resource groups, that there's psychological safety for people to be individuals and not merely mascots of that group. And one final thing I'm going to say about all of this, which is that, innovation depends on diversity of viewpoint. Einstein himself, confessed that he needed a wide array of friends to bounce his ideas off of, because he couldn't have come up with his own blind spots. How could he? He lives in his own skin, literally and figuratively. So if we're going to keep, the innovative spirit alive, or restore it at any one of our organizations, we've got to ensure that people feel free to express themselves. Now, we teach people how to express themselves in a way that respects different points of view. So it's not a free-for-all, but it does mean that when people self-censor, they deprive their organizations of the really interesting, ideas that come from people who really do have different interpretations of life itself.